This room has come a really long way. The paint was chipping, water damage everywhere, and I decided to follow the advice that was on this wall and finally bring a design idea to life with this statement ceiling. Adding the trim, hiding the LED lighting, and bringing in this deep pale navy on the ceiling with the Tony taupe on the walls, it's giving Ralph Lauren spent a week at Nancy Meyers' house. It went from something forgotten to something really intentional, and now it's time to bring it to life. With the bones of this room finally in place, it's time to shift from project into bedroom. So when you're designing a room, you really need to start with your bed placement and your larger items because that's what takes up the most real estate in your room. I was originally going to put the headboard that's in the back bedroom and here, the wooden one, but that wooden one just fits so much better in that back bedroom. I ended up putting it in there. And then I found this one on Facebook Marketplace for $60 and I love it. I think it's great. Since it was just the headboard, it didn't come with a frame. So I ended up buying this platform bed frame off Amazon. It's not the most luxurious thing, but it gets the job done, super easy to assemble, and it works. I'm a big fan of washable rugs, especially in a room that gets a lot of guest use. And for a king bed, you really should be using an 8x10 area rug. That's really gonna ground the space. But the tricky thing with washable rugs is that I have found a 6x9 is really the biggest that will fit in your washer comfortably and dry relatively quickly. I do have an 8x10 in another space and my washer can't really handle it and it takes a couple days to dry. That could be the material, but that little extra square footage of that rug is a little bit difficult to get clean. For my purposes, I'm willing to sacrifice on size for ease of cleaning. I love this brand. These rugs feel like cashmere. So an 8x10 would ideally be a little bit better for the space. It would ground it more, but also for my situation, I'm gonna be having a lot of guests coming and going, and the ease of being able to wash something is more important than it actually grounding the space in a little bit better of a way. So if this is your home and you're looking for a rug, definitely get an 8x10. But 6x9s will work if you are in a situation where you need to wash your rug often. Do you like it too? So I've purchased multiples of these. These are from VK Living. They actually do feel like cashmere. They're great and they're affordable. So what's most important to me is that when you sit up, get out of bed, swing your feet down, you have a rug to put your feet on. And there's a little bit of, rug at the foot of the bed. I've been a huge fan of Zionist memory foam mattresses for a really long time. They're affordable, they're great, they're a great starter mattress, but now I'm at the point in my business where I can start to upgrade. And I have been testing out some of the top brands of mattresses recently, and I'm trying to find the perfect fit for my guests. And I do have a mattress review video coming up here in a couple weeks, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. And I'm also working on my updated pillow review video. I made a pillow review video like 4 years ago, and you guys have been asking me for an updated review. So I'm working on that. That's gonna come in maybe next week. And then the mattress review video will be the following week. So don't miss those. It's a lot of good information. You guys remember when I found this credenza at Habitat? Look at this. The detailing. Look at this. There's a couple of the original wheels in here, but it's in great shape. It's beautiful. It's been sitting in my garage for months, just waiting for its perfect space, and I decided to put it in here, and I love it. It looks black, but it's not. It's like a deep, I don't know if it's a deep mahogany or a deep cherry, but there's a nice red undertone. I love it. It's like a perfect balance of masculine and feminine. Like it's masculine, it's like it's big, it's dark, it's bulky, but it's also feminine because it has these beautiful little intricate details, and it's massive, but it doesn't overwhelm the space. It's like, I love this thing. Love, love, love it. I've been collecting thrifted artwork from estate sales for years, and there is no better feeling than to go through your little artwork stash and then hang things up in their space. It's so satisfying. It's one of the best feelings in the world. Let's talk curtains. I originally wanted something like big, bold, dramatic in here, and I started out with these orangey, brown, golden velvet curtains. I love them. They're beautiful. I actually pinned them, and I was getting ready to hem them and put them up in this room, but just something was off. It was competing too much. And then I took a curtain off, held it in the back bedroom, and I'm like, oh, these work great back here because that dark, like golden, almost orangey color picks up one of the colors that's in the wallpaper. So those have been moved to the back bedroom. And then in here, I ordered some linen curtains. I wanted like a nice, like elevated linen texture, but I wanted them to be blackout, but I didn't want them to be crunchy, plasticky blackout. You know what I mean? What are you guys' thoughts on these curtains? I have them pinned. They are not fully hemmed. I like them. I do like them a lot for in here, but I actually think that they would go better in the other bedroom because I was looking for some curtains for the back bedroom and I couldn't find any that I loved, but I think these could go in that back bedroom and I could get something lighter for in here. So I found these and I wanted to make sure I got 100% blackout because I'm not going to do like a dual system in here. I'm not going to do like a shade and then a curtain. And I wanted them to have like a nice like linen texture, but I wanted them to look like actual curtains, but still be 100% blackout. And I think these are going to hit that mark, guys. And they are pinch pleat at the top, which is what I wanted. Come with the rings. So these are pretty cool because you can adjust the height of them. And if you take it down too far, you just take it all the way off and then thread it right back through the top. Super easy. So when you're putting them into your pinch pleat, it's a little bit tricky because you have to avoid this stitch right here. So when you're putting it in, it's going to want to get stuck right about there. But you have to like wiggle it past that stitch and then push it up. It's easy. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, you get the hang of it. Okay. We can use the same rings. They're pretty much the same exact. And here's a hook, a little plastic hook through the eye. All right, so now we have 1 and 1. I'm really liking the one on the right. It's a little bit more sophisticated. It's not as dramatic, but I really like it. It's a smidge short, but I can again adjust those clips on the top and make it a little bit longer. So I'm gonna take the other one off and we will make them a little bit longer. I think this does look much better. It looks a little bit more sophisticated. I'm gonna go through and steam them to get the wrinkles out. They're gonna look a million times better. I can't stress the importance of steaming or ironing your fabrics, your textiles, because look at the difference. I steamed the one on the left and I haven't done the one on the right. The one on the left looks like $1 million. The one on the right looks like not $1 million, but you guys know what I mean. Please steam or iron your stuff. It will look so much better and it really doesn't take that much time. Like just look at the difference on this one panel. I've done like these 3 little pleats, but I haven't done that side. It's a world of difference and it's not going to steam out the fold. The fold is going to be in there because it's chemically treated, but it's just going to smooth it out and give it a really nice luxury feeling. With that one simple textile change, it literally changed the vibe of the whole room. This room now feels like sophisticated and elegant. It's not just like dramatic and masculine. It's nice. It's pulled back. There's a little bit more of the Nancy Meyers feel in here, and I love it. These curtains really soften the edges. It lets all of the other elements breathe, and it really brings a nice balance into this room. When I design a room, I want it to feel collected, not decorated and lived in. So this part takes time. If you're not used to this part of design, it takes time. You need to collect things over time, and then you need to implement them into your spaces. You can bring that collected personality into your space with books, with artwork, with thrifted vintage finds like this, with little details like the little inkwell pen holder, lamps, little side credenzas, like little things here and there. Those are really going to bump up that collected personality in your space. And it's not going to feel so decorated. It's going to feel collected and curated. And it's not about filling the space. It's about choosing the items that feel like they belong in that space. From where this room was when I bought this house to now, like there's been a big transformation. It feels lived in, it feels layered, it feels balanced, and it feels like home and not a neglected like teen room. The only thing missing is some artwork for above the bed. Now, if you saw my last video, you know that I made a little like design painting room studio for myself. So I think we're gonna just paint some artwork for the house. We need something to go up here. Okay, stay tuned if you wanna come paint with me and if you wanna see the rest of the renovation of this house, because that's what we're doing. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. What do you think, buddy? Oh.